All right, welcome to the first Friday live workout. Today we're actually doing a golf mobility session. But even though this is kind of, we're focused on a lot of mobility movements that would benefit golfers, everyone could benefit from this, right? So, I mean, we're going to work on joint mobility, flexibility. Probably if we have time, we're usually do about 20 or 30 minutes. We might add in some dynamic warm-up stuff that would be, really kind of caters to our golfers. But honestly, if you're, looking at stretching out, feeling a little bit more loosey-goosey, then we can try, you benefit from this session. So, obviously, we're going to kind of go roll through things. I'll try to add modifications as I can, but no resistance training today. Probably going to, as we do this in every week, we'll probably do a different theme. So we will be doing some resistance training exercises in weeks as we go on and go forward. But today we're going to focus on mobility specifically that caters to golfers. All right, so first we're going to start with our neck car, right? So we're going to use focus on our neck joint. Okay, we're going to pull our head back, chin to chest, then try to touch my chin to my right collarbone, side bend, drive the chin to the ceiling, side bend, try to touch the other collarbone, and back to my chest. Good. Try to keep my fingertips, shrug those shoulders down, or don't let them shrug up. Do another revolution around. Alright. Side bend, back to my chest. And reset, go the other direction, pull it back. Here, chin to my collarbone. Side bend, drive the chin to the ceiling. Side bend, chin to the opposite collarbone. Back to my chest. Try to keep going. Keep going and drive those fingertips down. So obviously for golfers, your neck mobility actually does affect range of motion of your swing. Okay? So that's why we're doing that, why this would be important for a golfer. Actually, the neck rotation, there's a screening test in the TPI, level 1 screening for your neck. So you want to make sure neck mobility is also important for golfers. So typically the more mobility you have in your neck, the better, more efficient swing you can produce. All right, so we did neck rotation. Now we're going to go do shoulder rotation. We're going to do shoulder cup, okay? So we're going to be here. We're going to focus one arm. We're going to sweep it across, drive it up. I'm going to hit my wall, rotate and reach. So I got that external rotation. Lift, internally rotate, and then back down, sweep it across. I'll show you from side view, all right? Drive it back, externally rotate, internally rotate, bring it back through. Okay, I'm going to do one more on this arm, then I'll switch. All right. Lift, and bring it all the way back. Okay, go to the other arm. I'd say between my arms, my left arm is less mobile than my right arm. I don't know, it's something that it feels like it's a day-to-day thing, but definitely feels like I have a little less range of motion or mobility on this left shoulder, I should say. One more. And we're actually going to go back to neck car after this. We're going to do 2 rounds of everything. All right? So anywhere from 3 to 5 reps and 2 rounds of everything. All right? So we're going back to neck car. All right? So you see some people are jumping on. All right. Hello, Latana. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Thank you for everybody who's joining me. All right, now go back to neck car. All right, so I'll show you from the side view too. All right. All right. Good. Like I said, even though this caters to golfers, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm still figuring out the audio portion too. But even though this caters to golfers, I think everybody can benefit from this, right? I'm sure plenty of people have woken up with a stiff neck, tight upper back, especially nowadays. We got the diagnosed condition of text neck if we're looking at a screen. All right, so normally we're right here like this. So think about, I know when I do this, I try to get my chin in my chest. I really feel the tightness in my upper back, my neck, upper back. Oh, sorry, I'm getting out of sync. There we go. All right, I got one more. I think I did 2 already, but I'm gonna do another one. Oh, yeah. All right, back to shoulder car. All right. And there's many ways you guys stick with us, or check out our Instagram feed, our YouTube page, both Tampa Strength and Golf Training Systems, which is kind of our golf-centric Instagram or profile, I should say. You'll see there's many ways to do the shoulder car. Right? We do it standing, we do it face down, we do it laying on a bench, we do it side laying. Right? There's very many different ways, and they're all beneficial in their own way. So the idea is just trying to move one singular joint through its full range of motion without incorporating anything else. So this is not a shoulder car, right? You see how I'm moving my hips, rotating my lower back, rotating my upper back? That's not a shoulder car. Shoulder car, I'm trying to focus only on the shoulder joint. Okay? All right, so now we're going to move to upper back. Speaking of upper back, thoracic spine. All right, so you got your cervical spine here, attaches to the neck. You got the thoracic spine, okay? And then you got your lumbar spine, right? So the middle of the back, the thoracic spine, is really, especially for golfers, has all that rotate, or it's a huge amount of rotation, right? Golf swing starts at the hips, pelvis, I should say, then goes up to upper back, then the arms, hand, club, right? So we want to be able to have a lot of range of motion or rotational movement in our upper back, all right? So this is going to be an A-frame stretch, all right? I'll show you from front version. I do a hinge. All right, I'll show you from side first, right? I cross my arm like so. Kind of looks like the letter A, right? And then I'm going to have this hand free here. I'm going to pull it to my face like I'm pulling a bowstring, and then reach it up to the ceiling. Boom, back down, all right? So I'm really trying to focus. Now I'm turning my head on this, so I'm getting a little head rotation or neck rotation also. So not just my upper back is working, but I'm really focused on opening that upper back, right? Thoracic spine. I'll do one more on this side, then we'll switch. Okay, and then back down. I'll show you from the front view on this side. All right, so we're here, got the A, boom, pull, reach. And this uses a lot of scapula too when you're working this area, obviously. Obviously, your mid-spine, you can think about what's right on. Running parallel to your spine is your scapula, especially your mid-back. So, moving a lot of movement in the scapula. We're actually going to go to a scapula car next. One more. All right, so a scapula car, kind of like neck car, shoulder car. Okay, we're going to try to just focus all on the scapula, so your shoulder blades, right? So we're going to be here. We can do 2 arms at a time or 1 arm at a time. So I'm going to do 2. Right, I got my arm straight up, my thumbs up to the sky. I'm going to elevate. So I'm bringing my shoulder blades, kind of shrugging up. Elevate, retract, pull them back like I'm trying to pinch them together. Depression, trying to drive your shoulder blades down to your back pockets. Somebody just gave me a little fireworks, thank you. And then protraction, where you're kind of almost trying to expand it, driving your thumbs forward. So you're trying to spread your shoulder blades out. Elevation, retraction, depression, protraction. All right? Really trying to just focus on the shoulder blades. All right? I'm going to go this direction, and then I'm going to freeze and go the other direction. All right? So now I'm going depression, retraction, elevation, protraction. One more. Woo. All right, going back to A-frame. Okay? All right. Michael Stone, hello. Michael. All right, so now we're going back to the A-frame, right? So here, got an A, pull, and reach. All right? Sometimes if I have a club, right, I can actually hold my club like this, and this is really just working thoracic rotation. If I had a club in between my hands and just doing this, keeping my head down. So that's another drill we work for golfers too, right? So this one I'm incorporating my head with it, right? So I'm turning my head, so I'm getting some neck rotation also. All right. This is a really good one too because you're practicing a little bit of your hinge pattern, right? So I'm hitting that hinge right here to get in position. So you should feel a good stretch too in your hammies, glutes, lower back, right? So now I'm going to do the other side. I'll show you from this side, right? Pull, reach. Less range of motion. You can kind of see, it's hard to tell. Maybe you can see it straight on. You can tell I got a little less range of motion on this side than on my right arm. My left shoulder blade I can feel is limiting me on my range of motion. A lot of crunching going on too there. One more. Alright. Alright. So now we're going to do scapular car one more time, right? After this one, we're going to get on the ground, do a little lower back, and some hips. Elevation, retraction, depression, protraction. See if I can show you from the back side. I don't know if you can see, I have a black shirt, so it's hard to see. But hopefully you can kind of see my shoulder blades moving back there. I'll look down. There we go. Remember, the idea for the car is that the movements of the car, neck car, shoulder car, hip car, or ankle car, which we're going to go to, we're going to go hip car next, or soon, is you're trying to just focus on that one joint. Obviously, I was doing both arms here, but like when you do your shoulder car earlier, focus on one joint at a time. Really trying to make the rest of the body quiet, okay, so you can focus on the true mobility for that one joint. All right, so here, really kind of maybe common ones you may have seen before if you've done yoga. This might be common to you. All right, let's see who else. Move better. Michelle, hello. All right. All right, so just a simple up dog, down dog. Something you may have seen if you've done yoga, child pose, up dog. All right, so we're here, child's pose. I love this one, really feels good on the lower back and glutes. I push my butt back. What I like to do, some people rest their head on the mat. I'm not going to rest my head. I want to keep my head close to the ground without touching the ground and drive my palms into the floor, right? I drive my palms into the floor to activate that upper back. Feel the tension build in my upper back. A couple deep breaths in and out. And then I'm going to drive my hips forward, hips down, head and chest up, chin to the sky. Really try to pull my shoulder blades down my back. All right. And I'm just holding each position for about 5 to 10 seconds. More active stretching. We're not doing static stretching. Like I said, good golf mobility, especially if you're, before you leave for the house, before you go to the course, and we might do some dynamic warm-up if we got time. I'll show you some stuff you can do at the course. All right? So here, drive the palms into the floor. Boom. Hips down, head and chest up. Drive through my hands, right? Try to push my chest nice and proud. Now, sometimes, if you have any wrist pain, right, or bad wrists, which is common in golfers, common in a lot of people, you can just go to your elbows when you do your up dog, right? Just try to keep a proud chest and go on your elbows, right? Here's a little child's pose again, one more time, right? And then back to the up dog one more time, right? All right, so after this, we're going to kind of link this with another common one. Maybe you've seen in yoga, down dog, right? So a really good posterior chain stretch, great for flexibility, but we're going to add a little calf raise to it to work some of our ankles, right? Or to work our ankle mobility, I should say, and stretch the calves. Right? So we're going to get up into our good down dog. So I don't worry about trying to lock my legs out. I feel that prevents me from really driving my heels down sometimes. So I really focus on driving my heels to the mat, pushing my chest to the top of my thighs, and then I'm going to basically alternate my calf raise. All right? Shoot for 5 each side. One more each side, I think. There we go. And all the way down. Good. All right. I'm going to go back to child's pose real quick. Child pose, up dog. All right. We got Mochi Odini, maybe? I love all these names because it's great. I'm going to do my best, and I'm terrible at pronunciation, so it's going to be fun for you guys, hopefully. All right, so now we go to back to child pose up dog. All right. Remember, push the palms into the mat. Keep your head off the ground. Couple breaths in and out. Back up to your up dog. All right. Get my arms back a little bit. There we go. All right, back to child's pose. We're going to knock 3 and 3, then go back to down dog. Then we'll go into the hip card. This is great for me too, because I didn't get to do a stretch. I did a little warm up this morning before I did some bike and kettlebells, but this is a good what I need at the end of my week for sure. So next week, like I said, I plan on doing a little dumbbell circuit for us for our live workout. We'll do a little warm up similar to this, a little, stretch and mobility warm up. And then we'll head to a little dumbbell circuit. So every week we're going to try to do a little different theme for our Friday live workouts. All right, going back to down dog with the heel raises, right? So back in the down dog. Let me put this a little bit. Okay, all right. Like I said, the cues for the down dog, I push my chest to the top of my thighs, right? And then I do my heel raises. One more. The golf swing starts from the ground up. So we have to really focus on mobility from the ground up, which includes your feet. So if you're not working ankle mobility or calf flexibility, you could be, missing a part, your golf game could suffer, right? And I mean, that's true. And then just like I said earlier, focus on ankle mobility and calf flexibility. And if you're a runner, it's huge, right? If you like to walk a lot, it's huge. If you like to hike, if you like to, whatever for life in general, right? All this stuff. Obviously, we're doing some specific stuff. I'm going to show you a hip car right now, but a bunch of people can benefit from that, just golfers. But as far as if you had to, it's hard to rank. Everybody's different. Every golfer is different. But essentially, every golfer needs to work on their hip mobility, right? So, and I think that's true for a lot of people. So this is side lane hip car. Once again, hip car, we do many different ways. We do it on our back. We do it on our chest down. We'll do it standing. So this is a great way to do it though, because it really isolates this side too, right? So it isolates the non-working side. So we're gonna work the top hip, right? I'm here. I'm going to use my elbow somewhat of a target. I'm in my Baywatch pose, right? So I'm gonna bring my knee to my elbow, knee to the sky, internally rotate. I'm gonna apologize now. I know I got a lot of thigh showing, but that is the drill, good? All right, so what I'm going to do, I just did knee to elbow, knee to sky, internal rotation, and now I'm going to reverse it. Drive my heel to the wall behind me, externally rotate my knee towards the ceiling, back to my elbow, and down, right? Knee to elbow, knee to sky, internally rotate, all right? And then reverse it. Boom, drive the heel back, knee up, and then, good. One more on this side, I'm going to switch. That internal rotation, that's something that a very large percentage of golfers lack, right? And when you swing the club, you go internally and externally rotate. To show you I'll show you, see, hopefully, I don't know if you guys can see, right? My knee here, hopefully, right? So this is external rotation, your thigh bone rotating externally, and then internal rotation. So typically, maybe you can see mine, I don't know if that's the greatest version, but typically you'll have more external rotation than internal rotation. But it's important for golfers to have, a fair amount of both, right? Because when you swing a golf club, you both internally and externally rotate over both hips in one single swing, right? So, for a right-handed golfer, when I do my backswing, I externally rotate, Yes, I externally rotate over my left hip and internally rotate over my right hip. Yeah, for a right-handed golfer, right? And then when I do my downswing into the ball, I'm externally rotating on my right hip, internally rotating on my left hip. Okay? So as I said, both hips do both internal, both sides, both hip joints, externally, internally rotate on one golf swing. So improving your internal and external rotation is huge for golf. Alright? Alright, so now we're going to go to frog stretch. Alright, stretching the adductors, muscles that attach inside the pelvis. Okay, I'll show you from the side view. Oop. Here, toes out. Okay, I'm on my back, on my elbows, trying to have a neutral spine, driving my butt back as far as it'll go, and then I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to do a 10 count. Sometimes you can go up to 30 or any 60 seconds. I would say recommend if you're going to do long holds, more than 60 seconds, you probably save that for after your round, right? So when it comes to stretching, obviously if you're going out for a round of golf, a lot of static stretching, unless it's something you do right when you get out of bed and then you got, about 2 or 3 hours before you tee off, maybe that could be something that's in your routine, but you definitely want to have some more active warm-up drills before you head out to the course, right? Get your body ready to essentially exercise, which golf is a certain form of exercise, right? All right, so we did that. Now we're going to go back to hip car. Okay, do a hip car and frog again, and then I'm going to do some dynamic warm-up drills for you guys, okay? All right, crash skin, hello, and golf specifics, hello, okay? All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize to anybody who's been asking to join the feed. I apologize if I'm this is my first live one in a while. So if you sent me a live request to join, I apologize. Next week I'll get that done. Okay. I promise I'll have you. Join you tune in next week. Mo Chidini, I believe that was the name. I apologize for Mo, but I'll get you in next week. I promise. Okay. All right. Here we go. Doing the hip car. Remember, sorry, I know I'm running through it without knee to elbow, knee to sky, internally rotate. All right. External rotation. Boom, here. Now the key with this, you can't really see it. It's kind of would be hard to see, but I'm not leaning too much. I'm not rolling, especially when I get here. I'm not opening here because that would actually, I'm using another joint to kind of lean back. I'm trying to make sure I'm just focusing only on this, the true range of motion for this hip joint right here. All right? Everything else stays quiet. Once again, I apologize for the white thighs, guys. Apologize for white thighs. I know I got my compression shorts on, so you guys aren't getting too much of a show. All right? All right, so here, the elbow, sky, internally rotate. Okay, I'm rolling through it fast, but obviously, if you haven't done this move, I really encourage you to go slow. And I'm keeping this position right here like I got a ball behind my knee, and you can actually do that too. Put a tennis ball or some sort of like ball behind your knee to really kind of contract the muscles in the back of the leg, right? One more time, knee to elbow, knee to sky, internally rotate. Externally rotate and back. All right, frog one more time. Got it? All right, so I'm in my frog, hanging out, and I'll show you a little bit. I guess I can show you from the front side this time around, right? Since you saw the back. All right, here, nice wide, obviously, right? And toes out. Okay. So I'm watching the clock. So now, after I finish this, I'm going to do this for about 10 more seconds. I'm going to stand up, show some dynamic warm-up drills. Things if you ever, you played any grade school, high school, college sports, you'll see a lot of similarities, right? So, you're going to really just, the warm-ups, dynamic warm-ups, we're going to do some reverse lunge with the rotation. We're going to do a little walking hammy stretch, or floor sweeps, as we call it. So, those are things that you probably see even, football players doing a lot of similar things too, especially with the NFL and college playoffs happening right now. So, all right, so reverse lunge with rotation, okay? So we're going to step back our one leg, and I'm going to reach my arm across and reach behind me, right? Okay, working that thoracic spine mobility again, right? You know, and if I wasn't staying on screen or in camera view, I'd probably walk it out, guys. Probably walk down the gym hitting this, right? We'll do one more each side. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and do those floor sweeps. Now this is really for the hammy stretch, right? So, and with the floor sweeps, I'll get a little bit of a walking distance right here. I also want to keep my back neutral, right? So I'll show you right here. So this is kind of the movement. I push the hips back, sweep the floor, right? So you can feel that really behind that lead leg. That leg's that's out front. One thing we want to avoid is the round back, right? So I don't want to do this. All right? Sure, I got a little bit of a stretch, but I'm not really maximizing it, right? So what I'm going to do is step, step. Just doing one leg. Here. Really trying to pinch my shoulder blades together and keep a neutral spine. So I'll back up and do the other leg over here. All right? So you think about golfers, posterior chain flexibility, which we're working right now. So all the muscles back here, trying to keep them, increase their flexibility, keep them flexible. Hip mobility, right? So we have it here, obviously a little bit more, but we're doing a little bit transverse, working in all three planes of motion here, right? But that hip car really focuses on the hip mobility, right? Shoulder car, shoulder mobility. Scapular movement, so you got stability and mobility in your scapula. Neck mobility, all right? There's movements we can do for our wrists, wrist mobility. We have ankle mobility, right? We did a little bit of the calf raises. So, I mean, obviously, joint mobility, flexibility, especially posterior chain flexibility. We got balance, which is something we didn't get into today, but balance in core control is a huge part of golf fitness. And basically, and power generation, ground force production. So the ability to produce a lot of force from standing in one position, right? So the golf swing here, we have to derive the force from the floor and then transfer it to the club and then unleash it into the ball, right? So you have to derive without, trying to run up to the ball. I mean, some people have Happy Gilmore it, but it's not usually common. So you have to create all that force standing in one place, right? So that's why a lot of those movements, especially the mobility and flexibility movements, can help you create more force, right? So typically, more range of motion you have, more mobile and flexible you are, stronger you can get, well, harder you can swing the club, or longer backswing or longer swing you have to put more force in the club. Now, every golfer is different. That doesn't happen every time, so it's going to be unique to your situation. But these mobility and flexibility movements can definitely help your golf game and help you feel better on and off the course. That's kind of a running theme that I want to promote too. So if you want more golf-centric stuff, you guys go to Golf Training Systems, okay? So Golf Training Systems, golf_training_systems. That's our other page with golf-centric stuff. If you're looking for, we put a lot of the stretching and mobility stuff right here on our TS page. This is the main page, so a lot of our stuff will be right here. So you guys can follow us and just get all the free information you want, If you like this video, let me know. Send some messages. So like I said, right now, the next week, we're going to do a little dumbbell circuit. We'll warm up, get some stretching mobility in first, and then do a dumbbell circuit. And every week we'll do a different theme. So if you have a theme you'd like, just send it to me. And we will try to do it in the near future. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this first Friday live workout or session. And look forward to seeing you next week.